Today I'm going to be modifying the LEGO Ninjago Dragon's Rising Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound. The set contains 3 bags, retails for $20 in the US. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe so I can be able to create more fun videos for you guys to watch. This set contains 3 minifigures, Jay, Lloyd, and Imperium Claw General. It is for ages 6+, and it has 198 pieces. This set is really cool. It has a posable head, jaw, ears, the legs can move, the feet can move, and the back legs can move up and down, and the feet can rotate. The tail is on a ball joint so it can move around every which way. The minifigures in the set is pretty nice. The first thing I wanted to modify was to add a saddle, because I find it that the little orange 2x4 tile, or 2x4 plate, was not really good enough saddle. So I tried to adding a saddle, but the big gold piece was in the way. So I took that off, added some new stuff, and there's the saddle. It's really not that complicated to build if you just look at it. You can pretty much just build it without looking. So you put those 2 sides on there, then you attach the back. Then you put the saddle back on, and already it looks a little bit better than the original. So for the back legs, I found it weird that they used the click hinge joint but I can see why they did it, because like the kids need to be able to play with it easier, but I think the mixel ball joints work better on it, so that's what I decided to use. So you take those off and you replace the ratchet joints with the mixel ball joints. Then you put the tail back together, or the legs back together as you normally would for the set. Put that back on there, and it already looks better because you can have the more movable joints going on. So for the tail, I find it that tiny little hole right there could have been fixed with just one single stud. So that's why I decided to add. And I did find that the tail was just a bit too short for my liking. So I decided to add this, which is not that complicated to build again. So I attached that back to the tail. Then I attached the tail back to the rear half, and it already looks like a lot better. Then you attach it back to the main part, and already it looks pretty good so far. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. So for the head, I found that the bottom jaw was just a bit too short for what I liked, so I decided to take off the top. I was just gonna put a single 1x1 plate in tan back there and thought, oh, this would be good. But I was wrong, because whenever you put the whole head back together, you see that there's a little tan bit of the clip, which is not that good. So then what I decided to do was just take off the tan bit to the bar clip and replace it with a black one. And the black one makes it look like there's not a big old tan bit sticking out, where it looks a lot better than when I used the tan. And I found that the jaw was a bit too wiggly. So what I did was I added one of those 1x2 inverted slopes on the bottom, and it like helps the bottom jaw work a lot better. So then we attach the head back to the body, and now it looks a lot better with my modifications. I saw that the orange plate was a bit too noticeable, so I just added the 2x2 inverted slope in black. Then I added a 2x2 inverted plate with the tile on the bottom. And I attached one of the washer dish parts on the bottom, so it's just not a bunch of anti-threads. Now we're going to move on to the minifigures. So for the Imperium Claw General, I saw that his thing was a bit too long, so I replaced the bottom bar with one of those shorter ones. So now it looks a lot better than what you would normally use. So for Lloyd in the show, you can see that he uses his Season 11 sword instead of 2 katanas. So what I did was I just added a Season 11 sword. That simple. Now for Jay was a little bit difficult because in the show, if you've seen Dragon's Rising, you see that in the show, he's not there yet, which he hasn't been revealed. So I just gave him the Season 11 weapons, even though the ninja that Lloyd finds along the way doesn't really use any weapons. So I just gave Jay his Season 11 weapon, and that's going to do it for the modifications. You can see all the minifigures, all the modifications to this thing, to the set. Now the set is all done, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.